Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my weekly check-in. I am Eric D. Capehart checking in with you guys. As I said, I'm going to do each and every week. This week, we didn't have a topic. This week, it was just like free for all. Whatever you want to ask me, I'm going to answer any question that you might have. And I got some questions down here. I got some questions from Monday, and I also have some questions from Tuesday. So if you're new to this, every week on my social media platforms, that's LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook, I am putting out topics for the week. And I'm encouraging you guys to send me questions that are related to those specific topics that I'm posting about that week. This week, like I said, it was just an open week. I didn't really choose a topic. I just wanted you guys to send me questions about whatever. But before we get into the questions, I want to say thank you to all of my folks that I'm connected to on LinkedIn. I really appreciate you guys reaching out to me, inquiring about how I can come and speak to your staff. That's great. I do public speaking, and like I said in the videos that I posted this week, when I speak to an audience, it's electrifying. It's electrifying. And the reason it's electrifying for me is because when I'm speaking, I'm not just another talking head. I'm actually providing an experience. I'm all about helping people experience mental health. You don't really need another person just to stand in front of you and talk about mental health. I think what people need is someone to teach them how to experience better mental health. And that's what I do every time I have an opportunity to come and speak. I'm bringing a live mental health experience. So I really appreciate you guys on LinkedIn that have reached out to have me come to speak to your people. All right, Facebook, y'all know how we roll. And I'll tell y'all this. On Facebook, what happens is I get a lot of moms to hit me up. A lot of mothers that are looking for help for their sons, and they're looking to find a black male that their sons can relate to. And I promise you, that's like one of the leading referral sources for me is my professional page on Facebook, where you can find me. It's at Eric the Counselor on Facebook. You can find me there. So shout out to all the mamas that are trusting me to take care of their babies. All right, I really do appreciate that, and I take that responsibility very serious. Also on Instagram, look, y'all are really engaging with me. I really appreciate all the likes, comments, the saves. When you guys let me know that the posts are inspiring to you, that means something to me. When you men come to me and tell me that, you taking, the boxing training, that inspires me. I'm like, cool, man. I even told my trainer that, you know what, man, these videos that we share, like, they inspire other people, and we're just doing what we do, right? But now that I know that it inspires others, we're going to keep it coming. So I really appreciate all the comments, people telling me how much they care about the content that I create and how useful it is. And so all that feedback, it does matter. I promise you, it does matter. I see all the messages. I see all the likes, the shares. I pay attention to the saves. I know who is engaging with me on these platforms. And so I really want to thank you guys for being a part of the tribe. And I really appreciate you guys responding to me when I put these posts out and these call to actions. For example, I'm asking you guys to send me questions every week. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to think about sending me these questions and actually sending them to me, because that's what this is all about. We are here for the weekly check-in. It is December the 15th. We're like 2 weeks away from 2022. 2021 is over already. Can you believe it? We're already at the end of 2021, going into a new year. And I am like fired up about some of the stuff we got planned. And I know you guys are going to, stay tuned. So I want to encourage you to stay tuned, because I got more things that are coming out that I think will help you. I think that will help you experience better mental health, because that's what my mission is. All right, y'all ready for these questions? Let's get right into them. I'm going to go to my questions for Monday. So on Monday, the question number 1, did you ever have a fear of public speaking? If so, how did you get over it? I can say that I've never had a fear of public speaking. I will say I'm like most people. They get a little anxious when you're going to speak in front of a crowd. I think that's normal. I will say this, though, and I may be mistaken. I want y'all to go research this and find out. Fact check me on this. But I think the number one fear that people have is public speaking. More so than flying in a plane. I think people are more afraid to get up and speak in front of a group of people. But for me, I'm not afraid of it. In fact, it's something that I've known for a long time that I actually wanted to do. But granted, yes, I do get a little butterflies in my stomach before I hit the stage or before I go in front of an audience. But I wouldn't say that I'm afraid of it. Not at all. I'm a trained professional. My degree is in speech communications and theater, so I've always been on the stage. I've been a radio personality. I've spoke to hundreds of people, thousands of people. Actually, I've traveled across the world speaking. So Instead of being afraid, I mean, speaking actually electrifies me. So I've never had a fear of public speaking. What are your favorite topics to share with the group? You know, in the last few years, I've been talking about a lot about mental health, of course, but I specifically talk about anxiety and depression, which are the two leading causes of people to come to therapy. Some form of anxiety or some form or level of depressed mood. And so the reason that I really enjoy these topics is because I'm not just another talking head, like I say. You know, I'm bringing a live mental health experience. My goal is to help people experience mental health. It's not, my goal is not just to get up in front of people and talk about mental health. That's not my goal. I actually want to give you something that you can use, and actually let's use it right now. One of my favorite things to do is I do a deep breathing exercise with my audiences, and every time someone either falls asleep or they stay in that space a lot longer than everybody else, and that lets me know that's what they needed, right? So I love bringing a mental health experience to my audience because, again, I don't want to just be another talking head. I also talk about mentorship. You know, before I became a counselor, I spent 11 years as the founder and CEO of a mentorship organization where I've mentored hundreds of boys. I even wrote a book about it, The Miracle Maker, Uncovering the Hidden Miracles of Mentorship. If you want to get that book, hit me up and I'll get you a copy of that book. So I also talk about resilience. You know, I've been through a lot of things in my life, just like you have, and I've learned some things that I like to share with people as it relates to resilience. In fact, I'm writing a new book, and that book's going to drop sometime at the beginning of 2022. Not at the very beginning. I'm going to start dripping out some content as it relates to the book, but the book will drop sometime at the beginning of 2022, and I hope you guys are going to be supporting and get that book that I'm going to be writing on resilience. So the topics I like to talk about: anxiety, depression, mentorship, resilience. Yeah, that's what I like to talk about. All right, so question number 3. I love going to seminars. I always leave feeling energized and inspired. Yeah, that's great. But then I get home and it's really hard to apply what I learned. Any tips? Now, I'm going to keep it honest with you guys. Any person who's ever been to a conference or a workshop or seminar or anything, or even a person who has been a facilitator or a speaker, we all know that the energy that you get, you know, the feeling energized and inspired, we know that it's going to wear off, and it generally wears off within a few days. And so here's my tip. While you're at this event where you're being inspired and energized, not only do I want you to take notes from the speaker or just notes from what you're learning, but I want you to start writing out action steps that you can take after the event, right? I think that'll be a way for you to carry on that energy and that inspiration if you know that you're actually going to do something versus you just go, you're taking all these notes, and then that's it. So my tip for you is when you go to a seminar, a workshop, or conference, or wherever you go to where there's a speaker giving out information or someone like me bringing a live experience to you, I want you to take notes on steps you're going to take after that event, okay? That's going to kind of help you with that waning sense of feeling energized and inspired. So those are the questions for Monday. Let's go to Tuesday's questions. All right, here we go. Tuesday's questions. Oh, man, this is a heavy topic. Here we go. I am going through a divorce, and my children will not be with me for the first time this Christmas. Is there any way I can prepare for what I am dreading? First of all, let me say this. Hey, if I were in that position, I don't know what I would do. You know, not only are you dealing with a divorce, which can be considered a death, and it's like the impact of it is like a death, and there's a grieving process that goes along with it. But now you're also not going to be with your children, you know, during a time where I know being with your children is special. It's like a special time of the year, and not only are you dealing with losing your life's partner, but now you're not going to be with your children. So if I were you, I would probably, not probably, but I know I'd be dreading not being with them also. So I guess this advice is for me if I were in your position. It's for anybody that's in this position, and it's especially for you that are in this position. We got to reframe the thinking about that. So instead of dreading not spending time with your children, I want you to change or reframe the thoughts that you're having about not being with your children, because our thoughts lead to feelings. Our feelings lead to behaviors. So if you can reframe the thought of dreading being with your children to something like, you know what, I know I'm not going to be with my children for Christmas this year, but I know I'm going to see them early in the new year, right? Just try to reframe it to something more positive. I believe that's going to lead you to feel different, and I believe that your behavioral response will be different as well. So try to reframe your mindset from dreading not being with your children to something more positive, like, I'm not going to see them this year for Christmas, but I know I will see them, at a date in the future. Let me know if that works, because I really believe if you can change your thinking, you can change how you feel, and then you can also have a more positive behavioral response, okay? So try to reframe your thinking around not dreading it, but just accepting the reality that it's not going to happen, but think of something more positive and spend your time thinking about that more positive thing, all right? Okay, question 2 from Tuesday. Do you think New Year's resolutions are a good idea? I think they're a good idea, especially if it's something that you're committed to. If it's something that you're not committed to, then I think it's obviously not a good idea to even waste time to gas yourself up to say, I'm going to do this. This year I'm going to lose 20 pounds, or this year I'm going to make 6 figures, or I'm going to save 10,000, or whatever you say you're going to do and not do it. I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's useful at all. In fact, what I would encourage you to do is if you know that you're a person that is kind of like, I say these things, but I never follow through, don't say it. Don't even make a big deal about it. Just do it. If this is the year that you want to get a new job, just get a new job. If this is the year that you want to save 10,000, just do it. Like, don't put this whole ceremony together on Facebook, Instagram, new year, new me, all of that, when you know good and well, we got a new you last year. But somehow that new you last year is the same you right now. So you're just in a cycle of just gassing yourself up and not doing anything. Just do it. Is it a good thing to do? I say making New Year's resolutions is good if you are committed to sticking to it. And a way to stick to it is to identify the reason that it's important for you to do it. Why is it important for you to lose 20 pounds? For better health? Okay, great. Why is it important for you to save 10,000? To have a down payment on a house? Great. You need to write down that reason, so when you find yourself slipping off track, you can go back and read the reason, and then hopefully that reason will reignite you to keep your commitment to that New Year's resolution. So is it good? I'd say only good if you are really committed to seeing that thing through. All right. Question number 3, last question. So my marriage is in trouble. We have kids, and I want to keep our family strong and connected. What do we do? How do we reconnect? Well, the first thing you got to do is figure out what the problem is between you and your spouse, right? And then you might want to let the kids know that you guys are going through something right now, because the worst thing that can happen is, let's say your marriage is in trouble and you decide to go separate ways. The worst thing you can do is go separate ways and the kids know nothing about it. I'm literally counseling young people whose parents decided to split for whatever reason. Sometimes it's better for the kid, actually. But for whatever the reason is, the adults didn't tell the young people about what was going on. And to some degree, yes, I understand that. But at the same time, through experience in my work, I realized that let me just paint a picture. Let's say you and your spouse have decided to call it quits. And so one day after school, when the kids are out of school, they get home from school, you pack up the car and y'all gone. That's it. That's it. That's how they found out that you and your spouse were calling it quits. That's not gonna cut it. That's not healthy. It's not healthy for the kids, because now they're just in a whirlwind of what happened, right? What one day everything was all good, the next day we living in another state. So I would say, figure out what the problem is. Try to work it out between the two of you, the adults in the situation. If you know it's not working out, or you know it's not going to work out, I would say start telling the young people involved about it, so that they can be, ready for it to some degree. All right. How do you stay connected? Talk about the problems. Still have that family time that you might have. If you hadn't had that family time, try to make time to have some type of family time. And if the relationship has come to an end, it's ran its course, let the kids know before y'all are getting in the car and moving to another home. All right. So those are the questions I have. I'm going to end this week by saying, I know this is the time of the year where people are supposed to be happy and jolly. It's Christmas time. I know my kids are excited about it, but I also know that it's not so happy for everybody. There's deaths, there's loss, there's financial problems, there's stress, there's all kind of issues that make it difficult for people to be positive in this time. So if that's you, I want to remind you that taking care of yourself is important. Set boundaries. You don't have to get everybody a gift. Make a budget. You know what I'm saying? If you can't afford anything, you always have time. Give what you can. Don't try to go out of your way to make somebody happy with the gift. And whatever you do, take time to take care of yourself. Okay, folks? That's my time for today. I got 3 more appointments scheduled on the books. And whatever you do, folks, whatever you do and however you do it, I want to encourage you to keep your mental up. All right? Keep your mental up, and I'll see you guys next week.